closer to silently. Handsome Sally dance on the floor. I love Sally more and more.
Hello, Pete. We're doing another story now. This is the third video I'm making today. This one is called Mr. Men Adventures on Wheels. It was a remarkably odd day for Mr. Busy. Got up early, as usual, got washed, brushed his teeth, eaten his breakfast, and cleaned the house from top to bottom, as usual. Then discovered they had nothing to do. Everything was on his to-do list. Everything on his to-do list had been crossed off. Mr. Busy sat at his kitchen table and looked at the clock. What was he going to do for a whole day? And then it occurred to him, ding! He would do nothing. Nothing at all. He would have a day doing nothing at the beach. As the sun rose, Mr. Busy set off in his car. He soon reached a building site. Mr. Uppity was building a new house for himself. Mr. Uppity already had a house, a huge house, but he wanted an even bigger one. The building site was in chaos. Chaos! Mr. Wrong had dug a hole with his digger, but he had dug it in the wrong place. Mr. Uppity was furious. Mr. Forgetful had forgotten to turn off his cement mixer, and Mr. Uppity was even more furious about that. Mr. Busy looked at the chaos. He thought about his plan to do nothing for the day, but he just could not help himself. He just had to get involved. He had to get busy. So, he got busy sorting everything out with a bulldozer. And being the busy fella he is, he soon had everything finished. As Mr. Busy waved goodbye and continued on his way to the beach, outside the fire station, wee-wah, 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 the fire crew were all standing on the pavement looking very worried. Little Miss Quick, who drove the fire engine, had been in such a hurry to leave when the alarm had rung that she had driven off before the fire crew could even get on board. She left the firemen at the fire station. Ding dong or dong ding, you tell me. Mr. Busy gave the fire crew a lift to the fire. The beach could wait. There was plenty of the day left to do nothing. As he watched the fire crew putting out the fire, he heard a sudden cry of "Ow! I've burnt my..." began Mr. Bump. "Don't worry," cried Mr. Busy, and without letting Mr. Bump finish his sentence, Mr. Busy bundled him into the back of the ambulance and drove him to the hospital with the siren ringing wee-wah, wee-wah, wee-wah. However, on the way, they got stuck by Mr. Slow and his steamroller, so Mr. Busy took a shortcut across the fields. It was a very bumped about Mr. Bump who arrived at the hospital, and it turned out, after all, that Mr. Bump had only burnt his tongue on a cup of hot tea. After leaving the hospital, Mr. Busy set off to the beach again, but along the way he spotted a very puzzled Mr. Funny next to a pile of red noses outside his red nose factory. Mr. Funny's workers, Little Miss Late, was late for work. Mr. Busy quickly got to work packing the red nose in boxes. Then he loaded the boxes into Mr. Funny's delivery lorry using a forklift truck. beep, 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 beep. Then Mr. Busy drove Mr. Funny's delivery lorry to the shop. Just look at Mr. Funny's car. Wah, wah, wow. Mr. Funny thanked him for all his help with a big smile on his face. Mr. Busy continued his journey to the beach. Over ahead, he saw Farmer's Field's farm. It was the busiest time of the year on the farm, and Farmer Field needed all the help he could get. However, the help that he got was no help at all. Mr. Muddle had tipped the grain into the pigsty, and little Miss Scatterbrain was trying to plough the pond. Mr. Busy knew just what was needed. A low truck. A low truck? A tow truck. In no time at all, Mr. Busy had sorted out the mess. He decided he even had time to harvest a field of barley before he went to the beach. Mr. Busy was about to reach the beach. He could even see it, but it was on the other side of the racetrack. A racetrack where Mr. Rush was looking for someone to race with. And Busy, old Mr. Busy, could just not resist the challenge. Mr. Rush climbed into his motorbike and Mr. Busy got into a racing car. Vroom, vroom. On a count of 3, they were off. Mr. Rush was the fastest thing on 2 legs, and the thought that he was also the fastest thing on wheels too. But Mr. Busy was even faster on 4 wheels. He sped past Mr. Rush and over the finish line. But he didn't stop there. He raced out of the racetrack to the beach. Mr. Busy had finally arrived, but the sun was setting and it was time to go home. So much for Mr. Busy's day of doing absolutely nothing. The end. I hope you like Adventure on Wheels. I did. Till next time. Bye. Should I just keep dancing? Cha cha cha.